Big Pharma is seriously in harm's way, and so is Big Food. We all know what Big Pharma is, but what's Big Food? We're going to cover that as well. But let's get to the good stuff. Watching Dana Bash from CNN have to say he's confirmed.
Just this morning, what once seemed like a long shot, a vaccine critic running the nation's public health agencies, became a reality. Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
was confirmed is what she meant to say. I cut it off too soon. I can't tell you how much I enjoy watching her have to say that. So here's another take on the announcement. It's a little more in depth, and then we're going to go into an analysis on exactly what this will probably look like and how America just got healthier.
The president's pick for Director of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., has officially just been confirmed. The final tally was 52-48. It fell pretty much down party lines as expected. Scripps News congressional correspondent Nathaniel Reed joins us now live from Capitol Hill. And Nate, the one no vote from the Republican side of the House, Mitch McConnell.
Check this out. $95 million net worth by this horrible human being. He is bought and paid for by Big Pharma and Big Food. We're going to find out that they're actually one and the same. The reason he and all the Democrats are so against Secretary Kennedy is because Kennedy is more interested in the well-being of Americans than lining their pockets like all these scumbags. Let's talk about what's to come. Now, you probably heard people call Secretary Kennedy anti-vaccine. Well, that's not quite accurate. He actually supports many vaccines and has been very, very vocal about that. The opposition just loves to paint him with a broad brush on this because it's a talking point, and most of them are receiving money from Big Pharma. What Kennedy is really passionate about is about making America healthy again, and you can't do that without taking on Big Food. What's Big Food? 10 companies own the vast majority, 90% of the processed food we eat. Companies like Unilever, PepsiCo, Kellogg's, Mars, General Mills, Mondelez, Johnson & Johnson, also Big Pharma, Kraft Heinz, Nestle, Procter & Gamble, also Big Pharma, Coca-Cola. 90% of the processed food is owned by these 10 companies. And these companies have stakes in pharmaceutical companies like Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, Moderna. Are you starting to see the correlation? Back to Senator Kennedy. He's been shouting from the rooftops about our country's diabetes problem, to use one as an example. Have you seen the numbers? They're literally nuts. And it's because of the food we're eating. Secretary Kennedy thinks big food companies have been slowly poisoning us for years. And so do I. And actually, so do most people. It's why we have the highest rate of diabetes of any other country. And even our children's diabetes rate is 1,000% higher than it was 20 years ago. Think about that. What's changed? It's the diet. It's the food. It's the processed crap. If you're my age, I'm in my mid to late 50s. We ate 3 meals a day. Nothing was processed. It was made at home. And if we were lucky, we went to McDonald's once a month. Kind of makes you think twice about that bag of chips and all the other processed food that we have everywhere. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Secretary Kennedy isn't exactly best buddies with big pharmaceutical industries either. He wants to reduce the influence on our healthcare system. Did you know that over half of the TV ad spends come from Big Pharma? Half. That's a lot of commercials telling us to ask a doctor about the latest pill or pushing the newest, latest, greatest lifetime medicine. Here's where you can tie diabetes back to Big Pharma. For anything we have to take in a lifetime and requires medication forever, it makes more and more sense to keep us sick because that way you're always taking the money for it. Big Pharma makes money on us being sick long term. That's what Big Food and Big Pharma do, and they're both owned by a vast majority of the same companies, as we just said. And Secretary Kennedy is hell-bent to fix this for us. But Secretary Kennedy's vision goes beyond just medicine and food. He's all about cleaning up our environment and getting rid of toxins. And he's not too keen on genetically modified organisms, GMOs, either. You hear about them all the time. So what's his big plan? Kennedy wants to flip the script on our healthcare system. Instead of focusing on treating illnesses, he wants to prevent them in the first place, something I want to do as well. I'm sure you do too. Anybody that's my age, we start thinking about our health a lot. I wish we would have thought about this for our children. Mine aren't obese, but there are tons of obese kids out there, and it's big food. And then they get to be pre-diabetic or type 2 diabetes. Now it's Big Pharma. See how that works? His philosophy is it's like an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. I agree with that. Basically, he's saying, let's stop calling it sick care and start actually making it healthcare. As part of this plan involves reducing the influence of big medical companies. It's a pretty bold vision, I've got to say, but today might just be the first step towards a healthier America. So what do you think about Secretary Kennedy's appointment? Do you support him making these huge changes in food, pharma, and healthcare? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I promise I'll answer. And if you found this interesting, give us a like, maybe share it with a friend if you want to. Congratulations to Secretary Kennedy. God bless you. God bless America. Let's get healthy together. I'm committed. I hope you are too. I'm Phil. This is Synopsis of Stupidity. See you on the next video.
It's over. Go home.